welcome to the MCTC Anime Club. I'm Crimson Lord.
Quick Step Theory Night, at your service.
And Matt.
And today we'll be discussing the anime Knights and Magic. To sum up the anime, it's about... Well, I guess the main plot is someone gets reincarnated. And he's revived in this world that's not only filled with magic, but monsters known as demon beasts as well. But I know what you're thinking. Oh, it's just another fantasy anime. But this one's a little different. This one involves mechs that can use magic.
So for all us unbridged, what Crimson just said, basically this anime, mecha otaku named Kurata dies and gets reincarnated into a fantasy world where there's giant robots, knights called silhouette knights, who fight demon beasts and can also use magic. And this pretty much sets him up with the goal to be a silhouette runner, which is his entire focus in the anime.
But so far as I've seen, through all the episodes, there's a little bit of a voice talking about the events. So this is almost like a documentary too, even though we all know it's just a fictional anime.
I think that might just be the case of, narrator.
True. Any thoughts?
Speak,
Well then,
Digi-Kid.
Wait.
Okay. Speak.
Well, anyway, why don't we move on to the characters? We'll start with the main protagonist, Erneste Chevalier. Once a promising programmer and plastic model mech otaku known as Kurata.
Just go with that name. That's
Kurata.
Kurata. We don't need
Right.
a full name.
He had his easy life, a well-respected programmer, a nice job, and he was surrounded by plastic model mechs that he could build so long as he had the cash. But tragedy strikes on his way home when he's hit by a car. He thinks his life is over. But then he's revived in a fantastical new world that has all his dreams come true. He's actually in a world where the mechs he built models of are actually in real life.
Oh, and he's revived as a cute little boy.
So cute, people mistake him for a girl. It
Right.
helps his way of dressing also kind of looks more a little...
Feminine.
Yeah, not like the case, like... It looks more like something you'd most likely see a girl wearing.
I think it's my suspicion it's one of those animes where they have the boy that look kind of like a girl to give them the sort of pretty boy element, even though he's still just white.
As I mentioned that term earlier when you were trying to figure out what the heck I meant by a chast hero.
Well, they gotta have characters like that.
Yeah, it's pretty much an anime typical trope.
Right. But, aside from that, with his knowledge of his previous life added to this new world, he becomes an aspiring prodigy night runner. It's very astute in magic and academics, but his real goal in life is to work in the silhouette night business and eventually customize his own silhouette gear.
Partially because he's really short for any of the ones that are his size, that are already made.
Yeah.
He needs to make one that's his size.
Cruel twist of fate. The mechs he loves so much, and he's not even tall enough to pilot one yet.
Of course, he finds his own way to pilot one. It is goddamn impressive.
Even though it leaves the silhouette knight a wreck from overextending its limits.
Still beat a pretty bad demon beast.
Right.
Guys,
Well, then-
we're forgetting his best friends in this world.
Right, the twins.
Kid and
Adeline.
Adeline.
Yeah. Basically two... I'm trying to find a nice way for this word.
Basically, they're twins who are technically half nobles, but they're not entirely in the line of succession to their father.
Let's
who
just
is
say
a
there
noble.
is a little connection with their family that don't allow that, for lack of better term.
In other words, their dad was in love with a commoner, but they could never marry.
Yeah, let's go with that explanation.
What is common for some nobles to have more than one wife in some anime plots.
Yes, it's just the word that their mother actually was is just the word I don't want to say and what they are technically.
Well, it did make it. Dude, I know what you mean, but from how they made her sound, that was not the case.
That's pretty much implied, boy.
You know, some guys and women are like that, but the women aren't necessarily like that. Okay, I'm not gonna argue with you any further.
I'm not arguing, I'm just saying, we're saying the same thing, it's just there's a certain word for it that I'm not trying to use.
Let's just say they're half nobles, alright?
Alright, that don't... Yeah, one of them is really crushing on our main character way too much.
Mainly because of his cuteness.
She really loves that cute boy.
Actually...
Which is sad, because because he's pretty much a chaste hero. Partially because he's 12 and she's...
I don't know, from the way she treats him, it seems like she's treating him more like a cute little pet animal.
She almost likes it. She almost likes him as much as her sister Sterlina. Or
Yeah, it's a...
Stephania.
To them, Ernestine's just like a cute little pet they just got, but they don't want to share him.
Well, to her, well, yeah, the two sibling sisters, yes. For the brother...
The brother just sits in the middle of it like, what is even happening?
Probably don't give a
He's
damn.
like the only sane one between them.
He's the only sane man of the four of them. Yeah, pretty much. That's his only character trait. He's the sane man.
Well, so,
Although he does have a couple moments of insanity.
Yeah, but the sane man.
how he keeps going along with the crazy plans.
Well, everyone does that pretty much, even the king.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to the Night Runners. How about we start with Edgar, who seems to be like the leader behind the trio.
Well, he's shown to be slightly, as much as he does have a love of the mechs as well, but nothing close to Ernestine's, despite what Ernestine said.
If anything, I'd say he is like the very walking definition in this anime of what a knight should ascend to be.
Like the Paragon, Knight of Shining Armor, Knight of Shining Armor.
I would say more like someone who knows what the right thing to do is and won't back down from a fight, no matter how tough it seems.
Knight in Shining Armor. Yeah, he's shown first time even letting Ernestine just take a seat in his mech.
Still, from how I've seen him fight in the series, he seems like the kind of person who relies solely on a strong defense to wear his opponent out before he strikes.
Well, you know what they say about the best offense? It's a good defense.
Yeah, that was kind of defined as his mech always had a huge shield.
Pretty much, he's got like that white armor, sword, and shield mech look.
Still, the way how it was worn, you could tell he's been through many battles.
Well, it was his trusted partner.
True. Anyway, on to the next one. Helvete. She, I guess, would be like the test runner, as in any new sailor gear she pilots to make sure it's... Basically, she's like a test driver, I guess.
Pretty much.
But she can't hold her own in a fight, from what we've seen in episode 2.
Well, that and the other time we've seen her... Well, to be fair, that was a fight that a lot of people got pwned in, basically.
Well, then what about in episode 3 during the mock battle?
That was shown to be a weakness of the mech runner design, is that it had terrible mana input. It was literally a mana hog. Mana basically being the energy...
Pretty much the Hummer of Silhouette Knights.
Yeah, basically, it's like, think of it, the Silhouette Knight as a car, mana is the gas. It can't run without mana.
But for some of the standards, they think as long as the unit looks powerful, they don't care how much it takes.
Yeah.
It's like...
Shiny new toy, but the toy's pure dud. It's a pure dud.
Or it gets worn out too quickly.
That too.
And then, moving on to Dietrich, the one who was full of himself, then a coward, but then redeems himself.
And that's by
So
showing
what kind of a knight would we call that?
I want to say Cowardly Lion, the character who comes across as a coward, but still in the moment has that the courage to stand up and still do the right thing.
Right. I guess we can see him as the kind of a knight who's just fresh out of the academy, and after experiencing hardships on the first battle, I'd say he grows.
Well, definitely. Doesn't help he got showed up by a 12-year-old who literally stole his mech, tied him up in the back seat, and just took over.
Yeah, something tells me we've yet to see Ernesty's craziness when it comes to this stuff.
We've yet to see it, or we haven't yet to see the limit.
Oh, believe me, I know the Silhouette Knights have limiters for mana, but Ernesty, his ideas, his
To break them.
eccentricness, I
Who
don't
wants
think
to break
he's
the
got one.
mold?
I don't think he's got
Ernest
one.
comes with Mold Breaker.
Yes.
That's his ability.
Yes.
Right.
Oh,
Sorry,
God.
Pokemon reference.
Hey, if I got anything as my day job as a Joker, I know how to crack them jokes.
Now then, normally this would be the part where we talk about the bad characters, but I don't think we've seen much of them yet. So why don't we go on to ones
we haven't really seen enough
Yeah,
of
we've
the antagonists to really know what's up with them.
Yeah, we pretty much just got introduced to our antagonists in the last.
All we really know is they want to steal the mech runners. We don't know why, who they're working for.
Yeah, they seemed like the mercenary type, but it seemed like their allegiance wasn't with anyone from Avila, that's for sure.
Well, it was implied that at the end of the last episode. Yeah, our antagonists, we know that they stole the mechs. We don't know why. Possibly to steal them for their own power, most likely.
But this is a time when kingdoms are pretty much established, so it's quite natural there would be enemy ones who would want to seek to gain power from their neighboring countries.
Or just destroy the whole world, as we all know. Sometimes some people want to just see the world burn.
From how I see this world, it seems like the victors of their countries depend on how strong their technology is. And seeing as how the recent gear was stolen,
We're gonna have to make even stronger gear.
But that just means the series will be getting more interesting down the road.
Nice, sir.
Well then, since we've gone to most of the main characters, why don't we move on to the good points of the anime?
Main character just literally evokes crazy awesome.
Yeah, he seems like the kind of guy who could surprise you at every turn. When you think you've seen everything, he trumps that with something even more, how's the word, eccentric, I guess? I mean, he took the basic human design of the Silhouette Knights in this series and made them more inhuman, but also made them more powerful. He pretty much took the ideas and recycled them into new theories, which I'm guessing he brought with him from the old world.
Most likely. He was unable to drive because he's too short. What does he do? Use his freaking gun rods.
Yeah, he also improves that. Once a wand is now a magic blaster / sword, I guess.
He literally invented the gun blade.
I don't know if the power amount that he has is due from the fact his knowledge is equal to his magic power, and seeing as how he was a practical programmer from the previous life. Oh boy.
Practically he was a programmer.
He's like the overpowered character that gets reincarnated with strength based on his knowledge from his previous world. But if he just sees magic as a program, then he can cast the most amazing spells.
He instantly cast something Idol Gold uses.
True.
Sharknado.
But still, for all the Silhouette gears that were the basic designs, they seemed pretty impressive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Digikid? You got anything?
Not particularly.
Well, unless there's no other good points.
Negative?
Same as how I've seen this series twice, sub and dub, I can't really say anything bad about it. Except for the fact that I think they may have introduced the antagonist's plot a little too quick for us to understand.
Actually, I would say the opposite. I'd say we could have gotten hints of the protagonist maybe a little closer. This is a weak error because we do get the antagonist early enough, and there were hints of them for maybe the end of the third episode, fourth episode. So that's not too late to have it.
I mean, this is sort of like, say the main character starts getting really strong, but But his latest creation being stolen is like him losing a battle. When he thinks he's pretty strong, then he comes with a foe that's even more powerful than he is.
And not even just that. Think about that's like honestly, it shows again. This is more so far. The best things I can say about weaknesses are only look at weaknesses at the point from what we've watched. I've only seen this anime 1 through 5, and maybe read the light novel with this. I swear this story sounds way too familiar to me. And even then, I didn't get too far in that. I stopped reading it, but
you have to admit, it seems better as an anime than a light novel.
I find that with most cases why I avoid reading mangas.
That's pretty much why you like the Overlord anime too, isn't it?
That one's just crazy awesome.
Well, if it ends up being anything like Overlord, we'll probably see a second season further down the road.
Yeah, and maybe hopefully we'll get a 3rd season.
No, not for Overlord, for Knights of Magic. Oh, now I see what you mean. Well, any more negatives?
Even demons can have a bad day.
Well, have we said all the negatives and anything else then?
We didn't really say much negatives. I mean,
because there really aren't
pretty
negatives.
It's like the closest you could say would look like negatives, like the example of the villains might be put in a little too early,
or like we don't see the main people behind it.
Well, we don't know. I mean,
yeah, that's the
issue. And like maybe those could be the main villain. Maybe they're literally commanders, and we don't know that much.
I mean,
and honestly, I can't say we only know from 5 episodes, and I don't have familiarity with this season. Like Crimson, you'd be the better answer. Like, do we get compared to like in cases like with Dimension W, where we honestly saw too little of the story, a little too late? Would you say that's the case in here?
Actually, I think they're just slowly explain the basics of the fundamentals of the world. The Silhouette Knights, magic, how they're created. But I don't think they've mentioned much about the kingdom itself and who's at its borders. If we knew that, then we could ascertain as to who would possibly want to steal from Mabila.
Okay, I don't know if you answered my question, but I'm going to say also, I don't know what based on this end, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot more material than a 13-episode series, so they most likely do have the time to go into that information. And
yeah, it is a 13-episode series, but if I had to guess, I would say, yeah, it will be more explained if we had the time to
move forward. But unfortunately, they don't. But we've already discussed, and we'll possibly continue the series after watching a few other animes.
Yeah. The only other possible negative it was the whole idea that the main character is a little too OP, but
I think the word you're looking for is he's too much of an otaku for his own good.
No, I literally mean overpowered.
Oh, that's what you meant.
What do you think OP means? The opening?
Well, it can mean a couple of things. Overprotective, overly pompous.
No, it almost always either means the opening or overpowered.
Well, can you name one anime that has the same type of genre as this one, where the character wasn't overpowered?
No.
Exactly.
This is the first time I've seen the main character being overpowered. Even then, that might not be the case of the... Plus, honestly, I don't find the anime is bad.
Especially since he's practically the same size and age as a middle schooler.
Could you let me finish talking? That's 4 times you've interrupted. Like 4 times you've interrupted me, and you've let me.
By all means, then finish.
I mean, like, yeah, he might come across as overpowered, but it might mean not he's overpowered. It's just this is a situation he's changing the scope of the scene, and even then, again, overpowered characters aren't exactly bad. Heck, I mean, in most animes we expect the main character to beat the bad guy, anyways. It's like when they're surprised the main character beats them, like, why? That's how the plot goes.
Well, maybe that's a little different. Because right now he just seems like the person who's stuck in the lab coming up with new ideas.
True, I mean, again, that's why the one thing is I say overpowered might be the wrong way to describe it. I'm only mentioning things that could potentially be a negative, but aren't exactly negatives, depending on how you look at them.
Right.
It's the same example I gave with Overlord when I said, this seems like a total escapist character. And I'm like, how's it escapist character? This guy's literally losing his soul.
Anyway, have we said all we needed to then?
I'd say yes. Scoring.
I'll start then. I'm going to give it 5 out of 5 since this is kind of my 3rd time watching it.
5 out of 5 gun rods.
Did you get?
4 out of 5 gun rods.
Oh,
dude, come out with something different. Don't steal mine.
Oh, looks like it's a Looks like it's a 14 out of 15. There goes our perfect track record for a perfect score every time. But it's still an A.
That's a C, dude.
14 out of 15.
Yes, that's. Hey, I had to make that joke. No, it's an F.
Well, anyway, join us next week when we're watching a movie that's from an old favorite, Digimon, but it's the revised movie, Digimon Try. We hope to see you soon, and until then, this is the MCTC Anime Club signing off.